Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday Tries with Alicia. I'm super excited for today's episode. We are going to be making gluten-free Lunchables. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Lunchables. I'm a millennial, so now I have my grown-up charcuterie boards, but I want to make some gluten-free swaps for this super fun, very popular lunch. So if you're new, I'm Alicia Falk-Horton from Alicia's Ample Kitchen, where we take Pampered Chef recipes, or any recipe really, and make them gluten-free. So I'm so happy that you're here. Let's get started. So I tried to take kind of the 4 classic Lunchables and do swaps for them. So the first one is already pre-made, ready to go, that I'll show you, and that is the swap for the chicken nugget Lunchable. Let me bring this up here. So what I did is I took some of the Perdue gluten-free organic chicken tenders. I cooked up a couple of them in the air fryer, and then I added some super fun little cookies, some peanut butter cookies that I made, some carrots, and some blueberries, which you're not going to get in the regular Lunchable, so it's already better, right? And then I just added a little container of barbecue sauce. So that's the first swap for the chicken nuggets. Cute, right? All right, next we're going to do the pizza swap. This one is my favorite. It was always the one that I went for as a kid, and now my kid loves the peanut butter one, or not the peanut butter, I'm sorry, the pizza ones as well. So let's do our swap. I'm going to set this over here. Okay, so first we're going to get started with the bee-free pita bread, okay? I'm going to grab the couple that I have in here. And what I did to make it fun and cute is I cut them into little triangles. You don't have to, but I just thought it was super fun. So I'm going to cut right down the middle with my kitchen shears that I used for food. And then I just went from the bottom and cut at a little bit of an angle to the top. Same thing on the other side. So then you get this cute little triangle, okay? So let's do a couple more. I put 3 inside of my container, but it depends on the kiddo, right? How old they are, or if it's you as an adult, you might want a couple more, right? Okay, so I got my triangles. We don't need to do this one. We'll do that one later. Okay, so we start with our triangles. We're going to set them inside of our box here, okay, like so. Next, we are going to have a container. I use the Prego pizza style sauce because it is labeled gluten-free, but you can pick whatever sauce you like of your choice. I added it to this little container, and I'm going to set that inside here, okay? Now, we need our cheese and our pepperoni, right? If your kiddo's like mine just wants the cheese, that works too. But what I did is I took these little cups. The silicone ones work even better, but I don't have any of those. So I'm just going to use a little cupcake liner cup. And I bought the Hormel pepperoni minis. Okay. And I'm just going to do a couple of them inside. It doesn't take a ton, right? Okay. And then I'm going to set that inside of my container. And what's neat about these is they're flexible too, right? So you can kind of squish them a little bit. Okay, so there it is inside my container. Then I bought the Kraft Italian cheese. Now, Kraft, most of their cheeses are naturally lactose-free because I have to watch that, and so do my kiddos. So I love the Kraft cheese. And if you need to know if it is or not, you just look right on the back, and underneath where it says contains milk, it says contains 0 grams of lactose. So that's how you can check if you do have to watch for lactose as well. Same thing here, right? It's not going to take a ton of cheese, especially if you only have 3 little triangles. So I'm just going to put a little bit inside of my cup and put it inside of my container. All right, squish that in there as well. So this is what we have so far, okay? And then, what is iconic for Lunchables? That's the cookies, right? Or the little candy bar or the treat. So what I did as a fun little twist, let me grab them here, is I made 3-ingredient peanut butter cookies. If you don't know this recipe, check out the page. I've made it a couple of times. My kids love it. But what I did is I took the small scoop and I made them a cute little small size, just like you would get inside of a Lunchable. So I'm going to grab one more little container. That's why if you buy the silicone ones, it would work perfect for this. But I'm going to do that, move this over here. I always run out of space like really fast when I'm making these. All right, so I'm gonna stick this inside of here as well. Just like so. And there you go. You have your swap for a pizza Lunchable, gluten-free, lactose-free. How cool, right? All right, so we have our chicken nuggets. Obviously, they wouldn't be taking both, but I wanted to show you our bento box. So now I have my pizza one, those two things set on top of each other, and then there is a band to keep them together. So if this is like an adult size for you, or you need a snack and a lunch, there we go, it's ready to go. All right, I'm gonna set this over here in my little cooler so it stays good. Next, let's make the nacho one, shall we? So what I did is I went and bought some gluten-free, just Great Value brand chips, which is gonna be for our nachos. And I love the little bite size, right? They're not as tiny as the Lunchables are, but it'll work, okay? So that's what we're gonna use for our nachos. And then, instead of cheese, I'm going to do a guac and a salsa, okay? So we're gonna take my manual food processor. We're gonna add some lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons worth. Now, if you have salsa laying around at home, you can just use salsa right out of the jar. Many of them are gluten-free, just read your labels. All right, now I'm gonna take a tablespoon of cilantro. If you have fresh cilantro, you're gonna wanna use a whole tablespoon, okay? But this is what I had in the house. And guys, I like to use what I've got, you know? Okay, so we got our cilantro. Now I need onion. The manual food processor is gonna do most of the chopping, but I still like to take the onion and cut it into quarters here, okay? We're gonna pop that in there. Now you could use jalapeno, red pepper, yellow pepper. I had a little bit of a green pepper, which apparently the sticker didn't come completely off. There we go. Got my green pepper here. I'm just gonna cut this a couple of times as well. My kiddos don't like super spicy salsa, so I didn't want to add any jalapenos, but that would be good too. All right, then we want to add some garlic. Now you could just take the skins off and put it right in there, but I like to press it because it gives a little bit more of a garlicky taste when it's pressed, okay? So I'm gonna press the garlic instead, but you could just take the skins off and put it in there as is. All right, so we added a couple cloves of garlic, move this over, and then we need our tomatoes. So I'm just using washed graped tomatoes. The big tip here is to just use about half at first, and then you can add more, okay? So we're gonna start with about half of the container. All right. Now we're gonna put our lid on, unlock our top, and get to processing. And I'll put it up closer to the camera so you can kind of see how it's going. And there we go. I'd say we're about halfway there. That's what it's looking like. Okay. Chop, chop, chop. It's not easy, or it's not easy. It is easy to push this down. It doesn't have a ton of resistance. All right, let's check and see how it's doing. Ooh, that looks pretty good. We like it a little chunky, so I'm gonna leave it a little chunky. All right, let me show you what it looks like. There we go. And you can keep processing it down if you want it lower than that. That's totally up to you, okay? All right, so we have our salsa. Let me get a I'm gonna put it right in this container. That's what I'm gonna do. So we have salsa on one side. Now you could do cheese. You can buy some of the already made up cheese if your kiddos love cheese, but I like to have those options that are cheese free for my family. All right, so my salsa is ready to go. Now, what am I gonna put on the other side, right? Because there's usually salsa and cheese. So what I'm gonna do is salsa, and then I'm gonna do guac. And I'm actually gonna leave a little bit of this in here to add to my guac. So, got my avocados, got my avocado tool. We're gonna cut around here with the knife side and cut it in half. There we go. Let's do it to the other one. And one side has just a little bit of serrations, just enough to help you get through that avocado. Okay. Then we're going to take our pit side right there, and you pop that down, twist a little bit, and it takes the pit out. Let's do it to the other one. Oop. Well, this one's being stubborn. There we go. All right. Then I like to take the knife side again and just cut it a couple of times, since the processor will do the job. All right. So I cut down the middle the other way. There we go. And then I'm just going to squeeze it right inside of my container, like so. Okay, so if you have never tried, or have it slide completely out of my hands, that's what it'll do. Okay, if you've never tried the guacamole seasoning from Pampered Chef, it's delish and it's so easy to use. Okay, so I have it here in the sample size. Let me grab my little handy towel that I always need for my hands when I'm doing these lives. Okay, good thing everything's like right next to me, right? All right, so I have my guacamole. Here's my sample size. I have this in jars as well, but I thought I'd show you what you get if you got the Taste Buds subscription. This is the size you get. You get 3 of them. Where's my little cutter? You get 3 seasonings, recipe ideas, and access to exclusive discounts. So if that sounds like something you'd like to try because you are a seasoning person, get a hold of me and I will chat more about Taste Buds. All right, so I have this. You're going to want to use 1 tablespoon for every avocado that you use. So we used 2 avocados. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons. There's 1. And 2. There we go. That smells so good. It smells so good. Put that in there. Unlock again. Do a couple of times. See how we're doing here. Oh, that's looking good. I'm actually going to add a little bit more of the salsa to it as well. Just a little bit more. My kiddos will eat it just with the seasoning and the avocados, but I like to add a little bit more to mine. Do a couple more turns of it. Let's see how that looks. That looks good. So we have our guacamole. Then you can put it in any kind of container that you have, right? I would just suggest using little containers like this to keep it away from the chips so they don't get icky, right? So put some guac in one, salsa in the other, your chips in the middle, and you're ready to go. So that is our nacho variation of the Lunchable. I will have pictures of everything all set up later today. So guac, salsa, chips, you can add some cheese. Boom. All right, so what do we have left? Well, we have our cracker, turkey, cheese, right? We got to do the cracker one. Let me get rid of, actually, I don't even, oh, yes, I do. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this up a little bit, get the avocado off of there. These are my favorite type of crackers for gluten-free. It's the Simple Mills, but you could use anything. These come in different flavors as well. Okay, then what I did is I cut up some cheese into little squares, like so, okay? So we have our cracker. I'm gonna open it up so you can see. So we have our crackers. And then what I did for a fun little twist, right? So I'm going to do turkey with the Kobe. I'm going to do ham with the cheddar. You could do whatever your heart desires, right? But this is the Hormel Natural Choice Deli, just because I like the size of it. So what I did is I took about 4 pieces, okay? I used a pastry cutter, right? Because what's iconic about Lunchables, they have the cute little circle for meat. So I took the pastry cutter and I cut them into circles. Look at it, looks just like a Lunchable. How cute is that, right? So we have our circles for turkey, we got our cracker, and we have our cheese. So fun, right? And then you would add your cookies and you're ready to go. So those are my 4 swaps for gluten-free. Head on over to the VIP page if you want to see the pictures of everything put together and a list of all the ingredients. I'll have that up later today. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday Tries with Alicia, and I can't wait to see you until next time, all right? Take care.